Okay, folks, welcome to our mini review of Microsoft Windows 8 Pro 64-bit. This is an upgrade from Windows Vista Ultimate 64-bit. And the upgrade, I should say, starting right away, went very smoothly. It went very well. Very few applications did not install, and very few applications here do not work. So let's just go over this review about the big mystery about Windows 8, whether it's worth the ticket, whether all the negative hype that's been going on is founded on anything, and does it really meet the certain parameters that you want in an operating system? Well, first of all, I think one of the main things you want in an operating system, apart from good navigation, is stability. So is Windows 8 stable? And the answer is it's very stable. It's extremely stable. It doesn't crash. I've got no blue screens of death. And all the applications I have here, except for Crysis, this video game doesn't work. Otherwise, everything else here works on my desktop. Okay, so let's get right into it. One of the biggest gripes that people seem to be having about Windows 8 is the lack of the start button. So if we go down to the bottom left-hand corner, there's no start button per se, but there is a blue square and it says start on it. So let's see what happens when we click on that. We get to what's called the Metro interface. Now the Metro interface was named so because in metropolitan areas they use bright colored signs with simple graphics for navigating. So the theme that the people at Microsoft thought they'd carry over here would be easy navigation with bright colors and easy readable graphics. So that was the idea behind that. So let's go back to the desktop. So here we are. We'll talk about Metro a little bit later. And so, okay, so that's the start button. So essentially, it's that blue square down on the bottom left gets us to the Metro interface. If we right click on this, if we go down here and we right click, you'll notice that basically all the options that you used to have on the start menu are right here now. So for instance, the run function, if you want to use run, if you want to look at your temp files, it's all there, etc. If you want to go to control panel, right click on there, control panel, boom, it's there. So essentially most of the functionality is there, it's just in a different location. Okay, so let's get to this Metro interface. One of the nice things about the Metro interface is that these tiles are not permanent. You can move them around and you can do anything you want. So notice I have removed Internet Explorer and I use for my default mail Mozilla Thunderbird. So just a note as that. One of the things that really bugs me, and I'm going to go over a few of those things, is the fact that you can't log into a mail account without using a Hotmail account. So that's, strike one. Strike two, I'm going into music here. I see these headphones. I think, okay, let's go into My Music. Well, My Music is here somewhere, but the first thing that you're presented with is Xbox Music. Okay, Microsoft, I don't own an Xbox. I don't have an Xbox account, and I'm not interested. Strike two. Strike three. I think, okay, I got my games here. I've got Battlefield 3, I've got Fritz, I've got Elder Scrolls, I've got Diablo 3, so I'm just going to hit my games. But then I'm looking at the icon and I see, doesn't that look like an Xbox controller? That's right, that's exactly what it is, folks. It's taking you into Xbox games. Not my games, Xbox games. Microsoft, I don't own an Xbox, I don't want an Xbox, and I'm not interested in using an Xbox. Now I can see the whole idea between the interfunctionality between having an Xbox and having a tablet, and this sort of whole tile thing is sort of based on that. I can understand that. But I can't understand that we're being force-fed certain things that we don't use and don't want. A lot of PC users don't use those things. Okay, so now let's go into the positive things about this desktop and these tiles. Let's say, for instance, I click onto Netflix. I'm going to show you something, what's called the keyboard shortcut. So here we are. I'm going to talk about this keyboard shortcut in a second. We are in Netflix, but let's say I don't want to look at these movies. So basically you hit the Windows key plus C and you hit search tab right over here. And let's say I want to watch Star Trek. And then we go in there and voila. I just hit the Star Trek icon and there the movie is ready to play. Hit play and I'm ready to go. Very nice option. And just so you know what I'm doing here with these tiles, if I put the mouse right up at the center of the screen, and you'll see a little hand icon, drag and drop, and that's the end of that. The application disappears. Same thing with Wikipedia, looks really cool, nicely laid out. So the same search application, Windows key plus C, hit the search tab, and that'll get you into what you want to search for. So let's say we want to search for Malcolm X. Nope, not Malcolm Z, Malcolm X. Here you go. So there you go, there's a nice app. And the nice thing that they've done here is they left all the links so that if you want to get into other information about Malcolm X, about Elijah Muhammad, etc. And there's many cool things, the African diaspora, etc. Anyhow, very well done, nice application. Okay, same thing with eBay. Here it is, eBay. You want to go shopping on eBay, want to look for deals on eBay. There it is, nicely laid out, nice app. Okay, so those are good too. And let's go into a couple other things back here. One of the applications that I think really works very quickly and is very snappy is Nero. So I decided, okay, I'm going to upgrade to Nero 12. Boom, look at that application. It just snapped right in there. Click on Nero Blue Player. Now the Nero Blu-ray player is probably one of the best Blu-ray players out there, just in case you didn't know. Great sound, great audio, great surround. Highly recommended. Okay, so now that we've shown that the navigation here is really not that big an issue, even though it's been hammered away on the blogs, all this negativity, oh, it's such a cumbersome operating system. It really isn't. The navigation, folks, is really fast and simple. It takes a little bit of learning, and yes, Microsoft should have released a video. That would have helped a lot. Okay, now let's talk about speed. Over here we have the icon for the Heaven DX10, DX11 benchmark. In Windows Vista 64 Ultimate, I was getting anywhere from an average of 54 to 61 frames per second. As soon as I booted up into Windows 8 and I ran this benchmark, I was getting anywhere from 101 to 112 frames per second average. Now that's almost a 50% increase in frames per second. So folks, if you're a gamer, a benchmarker, somebody that's really serious into those things, I think Windows 8 is a serious candidate for that. Works like a hot diggity. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about speed. Let's just launch Google Earth, and let's say we want to look at Hurricane Sandy here from space. Okay, well it launches, but kind of sluggish. And you'll notice also that's kind of sticky. If I use the mouse here, you'll notice that it's kind of sticks on the, it looks kind of weird. It's doing weird things. Okay, I'm not sure why it does that. Okay, but if we launch from the icon, so let's get rid of this, and let's go over to, the tiles. And again, we hit Windows plus C and hit search, type GOO in, and there it is. There's the Google Earth icon. And look at that, slam dang. It just booted up like a hot diggity. And there it is again. We can look at that horrible hurricane, and there it is. So that, is pretty speedy. I think that's impressive. So we have speed, the navigation, and stability of Windows 8 seems to be fabulous. The upgrade is pretty cool. Let me just show you here from their webpage. Right now, they're giving a pretty outstanding offer. Think about this. It's $39.99. Comes up to $44 for me. If you go the download route and you upgrade from whatever Windows version you have to Windows 8 Pro. I think that's fantastic. If you want the cool looking box and the DVD-ROM, it'll cost you $70 and a little bit of money for shipping. I think that's a fantastic deal. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but there you go. Okay, so the next query was about Photoshop CS6. Sorry, that's right. And so Photoshop CS6 apparently was causing people all kinds of stability issues. It was crashing to the desktop. It was crashing, freezing, doing all kinds of weird things. The only thing I've found, and let's open an image that will show you this. As soon as I load this image in, you'll notice that immediately something starts to happen. If I use this application on the side, you'll notice, oh, okay, well, it's not doing it now. Okay, well, it does every once in a while. You'll notice what's called a transparency layer starts to sort of appear. So I think that's kind of weird. I don't know why it's doing that, but I think that's a legitimate bug, a legitimate complaint. Otherwise, Photoshop CS6 works perfectly well. Okay, so that about wraps it up for all the applications here. I went through the navigation. We answered most of the questions about Microsoft Windows 8, and I think Microsoft has made a bold step towards something very interesting so that it can not only be used on PC, it's not only functional on PC, but on tablets and many other environments. I think It's a bold step. It might really alienate a lot of people, but I think this is a really fantastic, stable platform. The audio and video quality are also outstanding, bar none. So I'm not sure who we can attribute that to. Games run perfectly. And there you go. That's my review. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day. And if you feel like posting a comment, please do so. Thank you very much.